A little bit of real talk and Pickering Unplugged before we get started today. For the past month or so, well, actually longer than this, but way more frequently now, on almost every single YouTube episode, we've been getting one comment. A comment from a named person that doesn't exist, and a YouTube user that's only a shell of a user. A ghost account, if you will. It's an alphanumeric comment that means nothing nor correlates with any specific time code in the episode. And the ghost accounts that leave these comments always change. And there's variation in the alphanumeric comments as well. And at first, it seemed it only happened on very specific episodes, with only very specific country hashtags in the comments. But now, it's happening all the time. In short, we've caught someone's attention. Now, whom this person or persons or country or countries is or are, we do not know. And I'll be damned if I ask YouTube, owned by Google, owned by Alphabet Inc., for an inquiry, because I think we can all agree that'll go nowhere fast. Instead, we'll wear it as a badge of honor. Instead, we'll take it to mean we must be doing something right if our humble little Lofi Poli Sci global news podcast is getting flagged by unknown persons that don't exist. And Lo-Fi listeners, don't go into the comments and start clicking around. Really. So we must be doing something right and pissing someone off. To those people out there, listening, wherever you are, whoever you are, enjoy the show. And I'll tell you what we won't do, Lo-Fi Nation. We won't change who we are.
We are.
Lo-Fi Poli Sci. Welcome everyone to the Lo-Fi Poli Sci podcast. I'm your host, Michael Pickering. That's right, Lo-Fi's and low fidelity, low quality, in your face, messy as can be global news show. Here we're going to talk about that famous question, what's going on in the world today? And it's Thursday, time for that Lo-Fi global news, fresh off that press. Coming at us from the Middle East section of the BBC. Dubai deports group over nude balcony shoot. An update and conclusion to our story from Monday, where apparently a Russian photographer and more than a dozen women from Ukraine were arrested by Dubai authorities for a nude photo shoot on the balcony of a hotel in Dubai. And what's the word? They're getting deported. They could have faced up to 6 months in jail and $5,000 fines each, but it appears they're just being deported. This is curious, because Dubai don't play. You break their public debauchery law, usually you get in a bit more trouble than just getting kicked out the country. And yet, that's all that's happening this time. And Dubai officials officially came out and said that after all of this, there will be no further commenting about the matter. Case closed. And okay then, Dubai. Though we'll still be keeping an eye out there for updates. This is a curious case. Things being quietly swept under the table. Next up, source, Reuters, Europe section. Merkel tells Putin to pull back troops as Kremlin accuses Ukraine of provocations. All right, let's decode this headline for you Lo-Fi listeners out there. Merkel is Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany. Putin is President Putin of Russia. Ukraine is having a civil war in the eastern part of the country that borders Russia. And Russia is amassing troops and appears to be getting ready to jump into the fight against Ukraine. And Angela Merkel is telling Putin, back off. And you know what? You tell him, Germany. Go ahead and tell Russia not to take any more of Ukraine like you did the region of Crimea. Keep your eyes open and ears to the ground, listeners. There's lots going down in Ukraine this week. And P.S., if there's a story that's getting us flagged in the comments again, it's surely this one. Now, moving forward because we never move on from anything. Source, the world of the Associated Press. Myanmar junta limits internet, seizes satellite TV dishes. The military in Myanmar are now working to completely cut off the internet and international news in the country. Within the past week, all wireless internet was cut. Now, hard lines to 2 of the major internet providers have been physically cut. The military in at least one city appears to be taking down people's satellite TV dishes to limit outside news. People, this situation was already serious. But now, the military is working to completely cut off the country from the outside world. Keep your eyes open out there. And our following story comes from the Europe section of NPR. Fresh unrest in Northern Ireland sparks comparison to the Troubles. Now, this simply isn't good either. The Troubles were a time not too long ago when Catholics and Protestants in Northern Ireland and Ireland were in major conflict with each other. And now, because of issues with the implementation of Brexit and border disagreements, violence is coming back along these same lines. Lo-Fi must read this, people. We'll be talking about this a lot more coming up soon, so get the background now. And a last piece of news to send you on your way for the day, and a story that's unlikely to get us flagged in the comments section. Source: the science section of the BBC. Secret of guerrilla communication, laid bare. This is a lo-fi fun read because I love it when science confirms the things that we already know, but expands our understanding of them. And of course, gorillas communicate with each other. It's just us humans to like to think our words are the way to go. While the truth is, all beings on this planet have their own way of communicating with each other. It's simply up to us to either ignore that fact, or to try and broaden our own horizon, to see what it is that the world is really trying to tell us. Thank you, sciencey folk everywhere. And that's a brief snapshot of what's going on in the world today. Letters of the Lofi Poli Sci issue 2 comes out on Saturday. If you're interested in writing or reading it, let me know. Do you have a top 10 list idea? Get at me. Do you have good news to share? Share it with me. Interested in being a co-host? Interested in the Flashcast, live stream, episode takeovers? Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Peace and well-being to all my human beings out there. Much love and always the best. Pickering, signing off.